live. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. This is going to be a very important live. Yesterday I thought it was important, but I didn't think it'd be a very popular live. But I do thank you all for the 570 plus views, as it was an hour and 40-minute live going through a 34-page PDF about the ruling from Judge Annalisa Torres with the Ripple versus SEC. As we found out, programmatic sales were not constituted as a security or a investment contract, nor was retail sales of XRP. But what we did find is that institutional sales were indeed still defined as a security and or investment contract, which we'll have to see this go a little bit further in the cases. So that's just something we're going to have to deal with the weeks and months to come on. But it was big news by them saying programmatic sales are not a security, and also the fact that they said that retail investors like me and you could buy and it wasn't a security. Now, the big news today as well, before we get into this, if you didn't see it earlier, XRP flipped Bitcoin in trading volume since July 13th. I don't know the last time I've seen this in the history of the two, but XRP controlled out of the entire trading volume in the crypto market, pulled in 21% of the total crypto volume or trading volume in the crypto market since July 13th. Bitcoin pulled in 20%. Ethereum pulled in 8%. So take that for what it's worth. Now, however, it was only the 76th highest volume brought in that amount of time in its history. So it's the 76th highest amount of volume. It didn't even come close to the 2021 volume. But remember, we're in a bear market. So the volume that was coming in, it tells you that people were interested, at least when there was activity going on with XRP and Ripple. It shows how easily people will come into Ripple and XRP. So you need that. You need that when we start to get into, times of volatility. You want the average person to be buying. And now if the average person realizes that they're not going to get in trouble for buying XRP, it really does push the narrative a little bit more. Another cool thing before we get into this is now I have everything set up, is that XRP actually formed a bull flag on that drop. I can actually show you a real bull flag, not just us trying to show it in the 15. I can show you it in the 2 hour now, and it looks pretty damn good. And we'll get to that after we talk about this. But let me pull up this chart. Make sure you hit that, or let me pull up this, there's the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, as I will talk to everybody when I get done with the introduction and we start getting going here. As I always say hi to everybody. I anticipate a few more people here today because I think this will be a little bit more in the favor of XRP holders, and you'll want to watch this. Yesterday was a long live, but I do appreciate each and every one of you who took the time and everybody who was here. And if you want to show appreciation for my work, you can send a YouTube super chat during this live or join Tom's Army, which is the greatest gift of all. SEC's Gensler says he's disappointed with Ripple ruling on retail investors. SEC chair says regulator still assessing the judge's decision, reiterates that crypto companies should comply with SEC rule. So let me see who's in here. I like to talk to everybody, and then I can see what everybody says as we're going through this, because you guys lead the discussion. 53 people in here already. Holy smokes. 21 likes. Make sure to hit that like button. Give YouTube a reason to push me through the algorithm. And also, if somebody new's coming in here, give them a reason to stay. If they see everybody hitting that like button, they're going to say, all right, so my water's over here, but we're going to continue right now. All right, sorry about that. So let me say hi to everybody as I get my water open. So welcome in, John Hall. Good afternoon, brother. Come on in. Can we please have a positive show? Now we are going to 54 cents. Bitcoin's looking bad. We always have a positive show in here. Come on in. I never said we're going to 53 cents. I actually have a different outlook on this for you. To bring in the positivity, you've got to start with the positivity. Remember, positivity over negativity. Your mindset will also push the chat. So be positive in your thinking. Eddie Lance, welcome in. Richard Williams, hello, my friend. Favorite time of the day indeed. WTF, thanks for keeping us informed. You betcha, my friend. Amon, appreciate you, Mr. Tom, for your hard work, my brother. Thank you so much, my friend. I greatly appreciate that. D the Dude 88, good afternoon, my friend. Welcome in. welcome in. One of the mods in the house. Man and his dog, welcome in, my friend. No problem, you are welcome. GJG, hey Tom, hope your day is going well. I really appreciate that. Hope yours is as well. Richard Williams, it's a shame you can't hit the like button multiple times. It sure is. Sure is. But, you know, I'd rather just see one-to-one how many people are actually doing it, so it actually works out. So welcome in, everybody. I greatly appreciate you. Let me turn on the chat on here so I can see it. 33 likes, 34 likes, 58 people watching. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. We got a lot to talk about. And come on in. The good news is there is a bull flag formed in the 2-hourly. So if we hold, that was the consolidation we needed earlier. So SEC, yes, Gensler for prison for real. But we knew this schmuck would talk, so here we go. SEC's Gensler says he's disappointed with Ripple ruling on retail investors. SEC chair says regulators still assessing the judge's decision. Reiterates that crypto companies should comply with SEC rules. So Gary Gensler speaks during an event at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. on July 17th. So Securities and Exchange Commissioner Gary Gensler said he's disappointed with the judge's ruling that Ripple Labs Inc. XRP token wasn't a security when sold to retail investors on exchanges. And I'm reading it from Bloomberg because, you know, when you get certain articles, I would at least like some people to be like, oh, at least it's from a reputable, even though none of them are reputable. But it's a recognized one instead of me doing like a smaller one. So the regulator sued Ripple in 2020, claiming the firm broke its rules when it raised money by selling the digital token without registering it as a security. The crypto industry has been closely following the case. And as we know, that was not a problem. The programmatic sales are not the issue. It's not the issue. Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson off the hook, according to the 34-page report, because they are programmatic sales off the hook, because they're not controlling it. It's going through blind to blind. Retail investors off the hook. It's institutional investors, so 3 out of 4 prongs are gone. Oh, the Bitcoin maxis are going to. I'm telling you all, we're so early on this. We're so early on this. And yes, Lee, I thank you for, I think 2 weeks ago you told me about Bank of America and I was able to share it with the audience. But we'll be opening up more into this as well. So let's go. Man, I love each and every one of you. You have no idea how awesome it is for me to see 59 people in here. And just like this vibe that we're getting in here. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Like everything's picking up. You know, some of my videos had like 3,000 views a couple days ago. Yesterday a video had 2,000. I mean, something's changing. And I think we're starting to understand who we are as an XRP community. There's a $10 donate. Come on in, $10. Wow. What is that? Is that euros? I can never remember. Or I don't know. The euros and Swiss francs always look similar on here. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love each and every one of you too. I greatly appreciate it. Come on in. Thank you so much for that. And man and his dog, I really appreciate that. So let me continue going before before we get too much into this. 43 likes, 53 people watching. That's unbelievable. A pound. Okay, so that is the pound. Thank you, GJG. A true blessing. I'm just as much of a blessing as each and every one of you. You okay, Julie? Okay. 10 quid. 10 quid. Thank you very much, Rustodian. Hey, the Rust Man is in the house. He's a mod, but if anybody was here in the very beginning of this about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, he's the Rust Man, baby. He's the Rust Man. Holy shit. Jason Miles, 100 pounds. I don't even know what that equates to in American. Let me see. 100 pounds into dollars. I like to be informed. Wow. The US dollar went down so much. Thank you very much for not sending US dollars, ladies and gentlemen. That's pounds. Let me make sure. Is that pounds? Is that 100 pounds, please? I know I'm ignorant sometimes, but I get a lot of currency sent to me. Is that pounds? I'm an idiot. Not an idiot, but if that's 100 pounds, I thank you for sending it to the US dollar. Our dollar's so beaten up that your $100, you actually just sent me $130 in American. So I bless you. And the one who sent me $10, come on in, you actually sent me $13. So you sent me 30% more than you thought you did. You both did. And I appreciate the US dollar going down under the 100. Well, I mean, it's almost a pairing, but let me get going a little bit more. But wow. I don't even know what to say about that, because I'm not used to getting like donations and stuff. That's insanity. Wow. Jason, just wow. And come on in. What do I got to say? I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, I knew that was you, Devin. I just didn't want to say it. I didn't know if you were trying to stay incognito, but I recognized your picture. I was going to say Devin, and I said, nope, I've done that before, and somebody's like messaged me on the side and said, I'm trying not to let anybody know who I am. You did have a long break, Rustodian, a long break. White Lotus, they're trying to knock us, the maxis. It's still dirt cheap. People can still get an XRP. I'm still buying more retailers coming. Yeah, it sure is dirt cheap. What did I used to say in the past? Under $1 is a good buy, but I was trying to do something more after I sold out in 2021 and rebought. But now we're up 110%, roughly 108%. So it's like now everybody, oh, it's 100 quid. So it's called 100 quid. The locals just call it quid. For people of the world, just call it. All right, fine, I'm calling it quid now. I'm going to call it quid. Thanks, White Lotus. WTF, the SEC broke their own rule. They broke their own. Sorry about that. YouTube decided to close my chat down. See that? On my phone. So, would they break their own rule? SC broke their own rule by picking Ethereum. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. How do you send cash? Anything that you guys send to me gets split into my own currency. Bradley, thank you. Crypto Scrooge, welcome in. Crypto Solo Scrooge on YouTube. Let's help him out. He's almost to 500 subscribers on YouTube. He had a fantastic update. Oh, Crypto Scrooge was a fantastic one the last 2 days. Another donation. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Lee Tennant, $19.99. Let's see if I remember. I can't say pounds. $19.99 quid. And that's 30% more. So he sent about $26 American. God bless you all. I don't even know what to say. I've never gotten, I don't even know the last time I got this many donations. I can't say I never have, but it's been some time. I need to keep talking, but I have a very big problem talking to everybody. People, give what you can. You guys so much for us. Yes, give what you can, but not until I've actually done something. And this is why I pushed like joining Tom's Army, because we actually made some money. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I know. I walked way down there. Yeah, it was a good walk. Yeah, you know, you get some exercise. It humbles me. I like walking. You be safe out there. Guy working at Napa's like, I seen you walking way down there. I'm like, yeah, I walk all the way down there for Julie. Terry, welcome in. I really appreciate that. Crypto Scrooge, thank you so much. Lewis, welcome in, my friend. All right, let me continue. I apologize for taking so much time. So let's just start from the top. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler said he's disappointed with the judge's ruling that Ripple Labs Inc. XRP token wasn't a security when sold to retail investors on exchanges. The regulator sued Ripple in 2020, claiming the firm broke its rule when it raised money by selling the digital token without registering it as a security. See, somebody in chat said that earlier. You're dead on the money. The crypto industry, the one in the chat said he broke his rule by, you know, making a deal with Ethereum, basically. The crypto industry has been closely following the case, which has potential to settle some of the long-standing questions over the digital assets, or questions over when digital assets are and aren't subject to the SEC's strict investor protection standards. A federal judge in New York ruled last week that XRP was a security when it was sold directly to an institutional investors pursuant to written contracts, but not when offered to the public on exchanges. And this is the other thing they're not saying. And programmable sales, as we found out in the 34-page PDF yesterday, which is why I said it was so important to sit and watch that. Wow, 58 likes, 62 watching. I can't even say enough. Thank you for hitting that like button. But that's why I said we have to go through this. It won't be as popular yesterday, but we had to go through and do our due diligence. And it took an hour and 24 minutes for us to get to page 33 when it finally said programmable sales in black and white without all the nonsense in earlier pages was not a security or constituted a investment contract. That's what you learn by vetting in that. That's why I like everybody who's in here who watched it. I appreciate it. I adore you for doing that, because it's not the greatest thing. It's boring. It was hard for me to read through it all, but you know what? It was worth it, and now we have that added knowledge. A federal judge in New York, as we've seen, ruled last week that XRP was a security when it was sold directly to institutional investors pursuant to written contracts, but not when offered to the public on exchanges. Crypto enthusiasts claim the decision as a win for the industry. Gensler said, and this is important, remember this, are we going to get an appeal? Well, we'll find out a lot by what he said. Gensler said at an event Monday hosted by the National Press Club that although he's disappointed with the retail investor piece of the ruling, he was pleased by the decision regarding institutional investors. We're still looking at it as assessing that opinion, he said. So, honestly, it looks like he's okay with the retail investors. But notice how he didn't talk about programmable sales either, which honestly, it doesn't even make any sense, as I said yesterday, for institutional investors to be ruled a security, because they contradicted themselves in the 34-page PDF. They called XRP currency and money. 2017, they called it currency. 2020, they called it money. So you can't call it both. You can't call it both. So, and my argument is, they also said that it's a commodity. Well, if it's a commodity, just like gold, silver, precious metals, let the commodities exchange, the chief commodities and exchange commissioner, let him deal with that. This is not part of the SEC then, period. Does fundamentals and TA fundamentals and TA go hand in hand? Yes. Yes. They predict each other. I'm telling you, if you've watched for any length of time, you understand now that the charts and the news together predict each other. One can't happen without the other. The SEC will also continue bringing enforcement actions and working to get crypto companies registered. According to Gensler, we're going to continue to try to bring firms that may not be in compliance into compliance without prejudging any one of them, and try to ensure that we protect the investing public, he said. So it's always about protecting the investment public, like us, but it's not. I know I would have got one too if I wasn't live. Of course he'd come here when I was live. Damn it. No. But yeah, so what do we think? What do we think about this? Yep, I think the SEC's most likely they will act on exchanges now. But we'll see. It's going to be very, very hard to go after them just for selling it to retail. But it also put language in there that, remember this, with retail investors, it also put language in there that made it sound like they'll have to buy it not over the OTC market, but like us now, over regular exchanges if they were to buy it. Good. That gets rid of the unfair advantage. That's fine by me. Will the SEC appeal based on this? I'd say it's more than likely that we might not see an appeal for that part of it. I think they're going to take it the whole distance with the investment contracts as far as institutional investors, but they got a kick in the nuts. I'll be honest with you. The SEC got a kick in the nuts now that they said programmatic sales are not constituted as a security or investment contract. And programmatic sale is when we're blindly buying it from the exchange, is all it is. I don't know who, so I'm point A, you're point B. When I sell it, I don't know who I'm selling it to, nor do I know who I'm buying it from. So that's the big kick in the nuts. It really is. And a lot of people are overlooking that, but that's the truth. I like to tell the truth. Axel, no problem. One of my first mods ever back in the house. Axel, sorry, I've been busy with work recently. I missed a ton. No problem, Axel. Never too far from the family, though. And never forgotten. Appeal is tricky. Nothing good will be the outcome. No. The appeal is going to be even worse, because then you can even hammer them even more. That's why I think it's a slippery slope. At least they got 1 out of 3. I think it's a joke that they said institutional investors, it would deem them a security. Just because they have a larger amount of money and they're going from a company angle. So what it really screws us, here's the bottom line. How it really screws us with the institutional investor line is that now, like if you're in a hedge fund, or if you have a 401k, or if you have a self-directed IRA, you're not going to be able to buy your crypto or XRP, so to say, on your self-directed IRA or on a hedge fund or something like that. Hedge funds won't be able to use their $3 trillion. See, that's what I don't like. But they'll have to go through the alternative means. So, hey, what's going on, Hamza? Welcome in. Welcome in, my friend. Long time no chat indeed, but you're back in the house. That's all that matters. Terry, Gensler needs to clarify what considers a security and provide fair notice. Yep, absolutely. And that was part of the 34-page PDF where the SEC and Gensler actually got slapped down by Judge Analita Torres, because they even said that you can't just play that pick and choose game and then not lead, clarity of what their actual deeming of a security or investment contract is. You can see Brad Garlinghouse. You can see that Ripple has made attempts since 2013. Remember, XRP2, they got in trouble for a very similar type thing and paid a big fine. So they started taking different steps in 2013, 2017. So for it to happen in 2020 was laughable. But, it is what it is. So now if we look at it through another pair of eyes, just real quickly, because I like to look at it from two different eyes. We're not going to read through this whole thing. U.S. securities regulator disappointed with defeat over Ripple. So the head of U.S. securities and regulators said Monday the agency was disappointed with Judge Reese and blah, blah, blah. We'll see if there's anything we don't know. So Gensler also said agency staff were still working on a much anticipated climate disclosure rule. Here we go. This is what, see? This is why you have to look at alternate sources, because I believe Bloomberg left this out. I knew there was something that I didn't read in there. You know what? I'm going to read this now. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler said his agency was still assessing the court's decision, but was pleased with the portion of the ruling in which the judge held that Ripple should not have sold its XP tokens directly to sophisticated investors. Listen to this. This is the only part we need to read in addition. Gensler also said agency staff were still working on a much anticipated climate disclosure rule, and were now developing recommendations on regulating artificial intelligence, which he said pose risk to investors and financial stability. Now, anybody who knows what AGI is, maybe pay attention to that particular crypto now and see if they're going to take farther action there. In a landmark victory for cryptocurrency industry, a U.S. judge ruled July 13th that Ripple did not break federal securities laws by selling XP on public exchanges, and a move that sent the value of the token soaring. This fine on $700 million will be peanuts. It sure will. It sure will be, Terry. It'll be minimal. Massey, have you seen the new document Torres today for Judge Napper? No, I've actually got to look through that. I've got to look through that after this live is over. Roger, thanks for your effort. No problem, no problem. I do my best to keep you informed each and every day. JW, welcome in. Long time in the house. How you doing, mate? Welcome in. So, Gensler said the SEC would need new thinking to confront challenges of financial stability presented by the use of technology such as predictive analytics and machine learning, according to Gensler. Gensler's remarks are part of a broader U.S. government effort to promote what officials call responsible innovations while also managing what they say are threats the emerging technology poses to public safety. If a trading platform's AI system, and pay attention to this, you see why it's important to get more than one source? This is why when I read stuff, I try to pick them, I read them all, but I try to give you what I remember as the best. That's why I picked this one as well. I knew that they were not conflicting, but there was a lot more to this article. I mean, Bloomberg skipped over this entire part of it. If a trading platform AI system considers the interests of both the platform and its customers, this can lead to conflict of interest, Gensler said, according to copy of prepared remarks, adding that he had tasked SEC staff with recommending new regulatory proposals to address this. Holy shit. Now it's going into AI. So pay attention to AGI, honestly. This could be interesting. AI could also amplify the world financial system interconnectedness, something for which current risk management models may not be prepared, Gensler said. Many of the challenges to financial stability that AI may pose in the future will require new thinking on system-wide or macro-prudential policy interventions. Guys, take a second, hit the like button. It only takes 2 seconds, but helps Tom's channel heap. It sure does, Axel. Thank you so much. If you notice, the mods in here a lot of times will push the message that I do, and I do appreciate that because they've been around for so long. They know what I need, and I greatly appreciate that. This is ridiculous. Gensler remarks echoed statements he has made in recent months on managing risk created by the use of AI in finance. According to the SEC's most recent agenda for developing new regulations, officials are considering possible rule proposals which could be unveiled later this year to govern the potential for conflicts of interest in the use of AI and machine learning by investment advisors and broker-dealers. I mean, don't they know what free market capitalism is? Have we all forgot what that is? That means the market will dictate what stays and goes. The people can decide. If it's good, it stays. If it's shit, we're not going to use it and it'll go away. That's supply and demand. That's free market capitalism. But now we've become socialists, so it's not so easy. But I've said too much. The agenda also updated the possible timeline for the finalization of a rule governing corporate disclosure to investors of greenhouse gas emissions and climate risks, saying this rule could be finalized in October. However, Gensler said this was not hard and fast. Nothing's hard and fast with this guy. We've got some work still to do. Gensler said, I don't have a time. It's really when the staff is ready and when the commission is ready. So that's interesting. There you go. It's all the information. And now, I know we've been on for a while. It's been 27 minutes already before we even got to the charts. 76 people watching. I appreciate you spamming the like button. Too bad it only shows 1 to 1. It won't even show me anymore. Yep, I'm going to show you the bull flag right now. I'm going to show you the upside. But we got to hold it, remember. We already know. Look, we already know what happens if we break down, so don't get too worried. I'm telling you. It's a minimal flag. Man, it got sunny over here. I'm going to have to move to the other side. Hold on. Here, let's see the sun. Let's see the outdoors. You guys would be proud of my ingenuity. I have a flower pot below me so that I don't have to hold it. Alright. So, in the immediate short term, we could have come up higher and cut it off, but I was just using here. I'll show you like a 3D depiction of it just so if somebody's like, well, Tom, you know, you got to come from over here. What are you doing? Okay, we'll satisfy both needs. But I was trying to show like the smaller version of it so that you could get an idea of how small this trading range is. But in technical terms, yes, we should do it the other way. But hey, whatever you're more comfortable with, it's your chart, remember. You don't have to listen to anybody. That's why you're doing the chart. Exactly, Mark. You can't please everyone. So, but this is a bull flag. This is a bull flag. We're consolidating here. It's basically formed into a symmetrical triangle. But basically, if we draw this out and we have to break through, I guess this is telling us a very big spot here would be right around the 777 level. We know 784 we got to break above. The bottom of this uptrending support, we were down to it earlier, about the 716 where we're at right now. We came down to about 716. Come on in. Fantastic job drawing it like that as well, because that, I think, remember we've been drawing it the last few days out in the shorter term, but now we actually have more evidence. Now we have the evidence. And I think this is what's happening. So, oh yeah, and Jason, unbelievable donation. We've had a few donations, but Jason topped it off. Insanity. I do like how it has it sitting there so everybody can see it, actually. I didn't know they actually did that wall. You would have to get, I guess the more you donate, the longer it shows. But I'm only going to, see, this is what I do. I'm not going all the way to the wick. I'm going to go more to where we had this consolidation within there, because that was a massive run up. And like, you're going to have these consolidations, and a lot of people are getting so stressed out. Like, if this would have just went straight up and went to the next level, it would have just been done. The fact it is consolidated like this, if we do hold this, let's just say it comes all the way out, and we'll just do it from here. Well, it has to be the breakout above, though. So what if we break through here, we ride out? Let's just say 787, somewhere in here. So, I mean, I put $1.08. I actually drew it taller this time. See, that's why I don't like doing that. I'm not drawing it that tall, because then we're going to look for the expectation. Forget that. I'm drawing it right where the bull flag is actually at. I'm different than everybody, because I don't need... I want to see the real, you know, if it overruns this, so be it. But I want to see a more realistic, so I'm not sitting there at $1.16. I'm like, oh my God, it never came. I'd rather see it something like this. Ah, perfect. Something more like that. Let's just say that was the breakout point. Well, but that's how your technical target would be off of this. It really would. This is very conservative, though. Very conservative, because technically it should be higher, about the 116, 118 level for anybody watching. So this would be a conservative move, but it should be no issue in fulfilling it when we come up at all. Now, some people, and I don't like doing it. Some people will say, oh, well, Tom, the bull flag should be drawn from here to here, or from here to... You can, to me, this width right here, I'll show you what I use that for. If I was going to use that, the base, and you can use this, but that's kind of, to me, that little base right there, that is the short-term move when you come off of the support area. So I just try to balance it out, but I don't like using that. I like to see the actual bull flag move, to be honest with everybody. I do. 81 people watching, 72 likes. I'm flabbergasted. Come on in, yes, Crypto Solo Screwed, share your channel for us. I know he's closing in on 500 subscribers. No small accomplishment. I have anybody who's interested in Solo. He does Corium. He talked about it right before the pump. He talked about XRP and the Ledger a lot in the connection with Solo. But he's homegrown from this audience. He's been here since the beginning, the very beginning. And it's just a blessing to see he started his own channel. So, but that's what I'm seeing with XRP. So it's very simple. We don't have to really do anything else with the pattern. If we want to break it out into the longer term, we can look at this. This is something I like. We're not getting a lot of people talking about the fact that weekly bullish cross on that magnificent bull flag in the weekly is still there. But what have I talked about? We could very easily come down to that 657 or 613 broadening wedge breakout point. It's not necessary, but it's possible. It's possible. So we have to at least be aware of it. So that's XRP. That's the best I can do with XRP. That's the best I can do with what the mole Gary Gensler and South said. I've tried to divulge a little bit into the case, but now we can look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if you know, you know. The targeted move that we talked about yesterday actually was fulfilled. Remember, we talked about the bear flag that was formed in the targeted move. All we had to do was close the weekly the way we did, and look at the weekly, folks. Or not, what is this? What time frame are we in? Are we in the weekly still? Holy crap. We have a bullish cross on the weekly with Bitcoin as well. Let me get the right chart out for Bitcoin. I don't even know which one it is. I got so many damn charts. We're on top of the monthly. Ah, darn it, that was the one. There it is. So Bitcoin, we had a targeted move on the breakdown of 20. I got to go to the right chart. One of the charts I have it on here. I didn't want to confuse on the other chart. But we brought the breakdown yesterday. It was 29,000 for something. We didn't quite come down there, but the bear flag, we had it formed out. I must have deleted one of them. That's okay. We'll just put it on the other. We've made this technical. Let me go to the other chart. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The move's already happened. So the technical breakdown target, it hasn't quite hit it yet. Oh, 29,280. 29,280 is that technical target out of the bear flag. So it was one of those things. We consolidated. So that's the cup and handle we're trying to make. It's not done yet. Remember, it's not done. We're still within a daily candle. So when it does this, you got to have a wick that fills it high, down here when the daily closes. If we get a rejection there, we're in some trouble. Right now, though, this is still consolidating. It's a technical target of there before it bounces up if it's going to hold. We're already through the weekly now. That weekly candle closed, so we've already flipped the weekly indicator right now. So now we're looking at it. What's happening in the 4 hourly? We're having a bearish little move here. In the weekly, we've had a bullish cross. So, but now we can also fill this out more properly with Bitcoin. When this first was filled out for the bull flag or the symmetrical triangle consolidation, we had to guess because it wasn't filled out all the way. Now we know it's breaking down a little bit, but we don't have to guess. We can actually do it properly so that we can have it filled in for if it makes a move. That's what I like to do. Which I think we had it, honestly, we had it filled out pretty good. But Bitcoin it's in such a, man, it's a heavy consolidation. But we're breaking down. I'm going to keep the old uptrending support that was from the previous part just so we can see the downtrend, uptrend. It's already there. But now that we're below 30,000, a rejection point here would get you to 29,280 approximately. That's the technical target out of Bitcoin's bull flag. We're in a bull flag, but it's the technical target out of the short-term bear flag. We're just trying to pay for this. And that should get us to right here. Yep, Bitcoin is struggling, but 29,271 is a technical target here out of that breakdown. But look at the bull flag. It may be struggling, but remember the optics. What's going on in the weekly? Bitcoin had a weekly bullish cross. Let's go back in the pattern, ladies and gentlemen, and see the last time that Bitcoin had a bullish cross in the weekly. So we've circled it. The last time we had a bullish cross in the weekly is way back here, April of 2020. So let's go, everybody. I mean, it looks bearish, but that's a bull flag in the weekly. And we've had our first weekly cross of the 20 cross and the 50 since 2020. April of 2020, and we're about to cross the 100. So, what's actually going on here? Is this more bullish than it appears on the surface? It's kind of looking that way. But that's why I said, we've properly been in our position since late 2022 and some of them early 2023. And now we know what we're doing. If we come 20% below our buy-ins, we buy more. So for XRP, it'd have to come 20% below 346 for me to buy more. Otherwise, I have my 12,222 tokens and we'll ride to the bank at some point. Or ride into the sunset, I should say. Screw the bank. So, I mean, the other thing is, ooh, you know what? You want to be spicy here, everybody? You want to be spicy? Remember how Bitcoin or XRP was in a broadening wedge, or Bitcoin was in a, XRP was in a broadening wedge before its breakout? Is there a chance that Bitcoin on this bull flag created a broadening wedge here? We've had 2 hits on each side. Just hear me out. Is there a chance Bitcoin did this? A short-term broadening wedge? That's why I like the lives. I'm paying attention to this. I'm looking at Bitcoin a little bit more. See, that's where the question is, though. Would it be farther down? Or would you take... I think you would take it from here. I gotta lower that. Hold on. That's 2 hits on resistance. I don't know. That looks like a broadening wedge formed. Am I crazy? Can somebody Can somebody validate what I'm seeing here? That looks like a broadening wedge. Interesting. Resistance, support, support, resistance. Huh. So Bitcoin is forming a broadening wedge. And we know on a broadening wedge, you only need 2 hits of resistance and support to validate the pattern, but each successive one becomes much more volatile. Damn, wow. That actually created the broadening wedge on the hit of resistance up there. I can't believe I didn't see that earlier. Then again, we would have needed the same rejection we got here to validate it. So yeah, that's why the target of 29,280 came up on that bear flag. This has to hit the broadening wedge. These are very bullish if it holds it. So basically, if it's coming up bullish, after the consolidation, it usually breaks out bullish. But if it's coming into it in a bearish cycle, it usually ends bearish. If it is, after it hits 29,280, it's going to come way up here to 32,193. Yep, 29,280 could be the perfect bounce spot. And as we know, I deleted XRP's broadening wedge, but it wasn't a broadening wedge before this breakout. And then it hit the support, and it had 4 hits on support, and on the 4th time up, it broke out of it. So we had it, though. We had it marked in a broadening wedge before it happened. But then I put it into this short-term pattern so we knew when the breakout would happen. But it actually has the exact same pattern. Bitcoin formed a broadening wedge just like XRP did prior to its massive 93% breakout. These are bullish if it comes into it bullish. They're a neutral indicator, but when you come into a broadening wedge bullish, it's a bullish consolidation. And as long as it holds this support, we're in some business here. Like, holy smokes. So pay attention. Don't get thrown off here when it goes down to 29,280 if it does. From GJG, Tom's the best in teaching us on a daily. Genuine, good-hearted people are hard to come by these. To come by in these troubled times. They sure are hard to come by in these troubled times. But remember what I said, for anybody who's been around for a long time, I know there's a lot of people in here who actually been around for a long time. I talked about it would take time, but in time you'd realize everything I'm saying is true. Because I'm not sugarcoating anything. But that's what's going on with Bitcoin, folks. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't describe it enough. But that we've come to our time today. I've taught everything I want to teach. If you haven't hit that like button yet, let's see if we can get to 100 before I leave. I know people are leaving because I've hinted I'm done. But we've got all the information out. And yes, positive, Tom, is the best. True. True. Does it not look like we've formed a broadening wedge in Bitcoin? Is this not a broadening wedge form? Resistance, support, support, another hit on resistance, so 2 hits on both sides of the wedge. And you know as well as I do, this is exactly what XRP did before the massive breakout. We confirmed the support on the broadening wedge, and then we massively broke out. Yep. Well, pretty much. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. They basically own the biggest majority of Bitcoin. But that's what I'm seeing, so I do appreciate each and every one of you. So a lot of people are going to get shaken up with this, but look at this, guys. It's the same thing we talked about with XRP. The volatility is going to be great, but that's why you want to be in before these movements. Like we were in for XRP and the broadening wedge before it even got in the broadening wedge. So we were already up 40% while it was doing its Bitcoin. We've already been in our positions. So look, flag creates broadening wedge in the bull flag. These are typically bullish breakouts. Oh, technically, if it breaks down out of the broadening wedge, the technical target would be down here, 25,194. I'm not the bearer of bad news, I'm just saying. If we break the broadening wedge, we're going all the way down. If we break out of the broadening wedge, ladies and gentlemen, the good news is 35,040 would be for Bitcoin. And that is the best I can do. I thank everybody for tuning in. Crypto Scrooge Robbie, thank you so much. Sunny days are here again. Indeed, that song will be sang soon enough. John Hall, thank you so much. GJG, welcome. True, have a good one, my friend. Yes, yes. If it breaks out of the broadening, well, we're calling it broadening wedge, but like True's saying, okay, now we need one more though, True. We needed to do this to confirm the Bart Simpson top. I don't know if we had enough hits. 1, 2, I like 4 solid rejections. Well, I don't know, 2, 3, 4. I guess you could say. I would like to see one more big rejection for Bart Simpson top, but we'll see. We'll see. It very well could be a Bart Simpson top. But for anybody who hasn't seen it, I really like the fact that we've had our first weekly bullish cross that happened here recently for the first time since April of 2020. Have a blessed day, everybody. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. We got to 102 likes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Positivity over negativity, folks. Positivity over negativity, and give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And remember, positivity and inclusivity. No playing the victim, play the winner. When you're a winner, you make winning decisions,